Almost $500 billion in Apple, gone in one session. Tim Cook flagged a memory shortage that could hit margins for quarters, not days. Reddit fell 23% on a beat. Monday's real name, oversold, 62% at the end. Right, futures are green into Monday. S&P futures up 0.6% near 75.19. Nasdaq futures up 0.6%. Tokyo's Nikkei jumped 4% overnight. But Russell futures are red, down over 0.5%. Small caps aren't buying this the same way. Here's the twist nobody's spinning right. iPhone revenue was record-setting. The beat was real. What tanked the stock was 6 words from Tim Cook: increasing impact from a memory shortage. That's not sentiment, that's cost of goods, and it doesn't fix itself by Tuesday. Same shortage that's been whipsawing Micron and SK Hynix all week. Apple just proved retail traders own the bill too. This stops being a Korea story and starts sitting in a stock in nearly every retirement account in America. $500 billion. That's the number. Consensus calls it a temporary supply hiccup. The bear case says memory pricing stays elevated into next year, and every device maker eats margin, not just Apple. Apple's roughly 8% of the S&P by weight. So here's the line that matters Monday. SPY closed near 747. 20-day support sits at 729. Lose that, and Apple's supply problem stops being just Apple's problem. Reddit grew revenue 61%, nearly tripled profit, beat on guidance. Stock fell 23% anyway. 4 words did it. Search referrals were choppy. The lesson? Guidance language beats the headline beat every single time. 23%. That's the drop on a quarter where revenue grew 61% and profit nearly tripled. Consensus says a beat like that should have held the stock up. It didn't, because 4 words outweighed every number in the release. Novo Nordisk, down 10%. Not a guidance nuance, an actual late-stage trial that missed its goal. One of the most owned pharma names on the planet, and the catalyst just failed, live in real time. And this is the one on your receipt. UK petrol just hit its highest price since the Iran conflict began. Tankers near Oman are taking fire, oil's up 1.3% today. That's not an abstract chart, that's Monday's fill-up. Over on our stocks, retail traders already connected this before the earnings call. Memory prices are quietly killing demand for non-AI devices. June China smartphone shipments down 17% year-on-year. The crowd found Apple's problem early. Right, the segment. 2 weeks, one market, total whiplash. Korea's Kospi crashed 8%, recovered, then ripped 18% in a single session. Here's how panic and conviction happened in the same market, same week. Individual investors sold a record 10.5 trillion won straight into that surge. Retail panicked out. Institutions bought the exact same session. Same tape, opposite conviction. 2 time horizons colliding, not a contradiction. But here's what actually ended the scare. Not sentiment, 3 earnings reports. Alphabet, Amazon, and Microsoft added close to $1.5 trillion combined this week. That's the real flaw under this trade, not Korean retail flows. Weekend markets never close. Bitcoin sitting near 63,000, up 0.25%. Ether's flat, around 1864. Nothing dramatic. Crypto's just waiting on Monday's tech tape, same as everyone else. Right, the name I promised you. Oracle. 3 analysts now have it going to $400. A Gemini tie-up with Alphabet just jump-started that call. Consensus calls Oracle and AI also ran. That thesis needs the partnership showing up in revenue, not slides. 62.4% off its high, trading near 129.80, up 1.8% today. Bear case, hype unwind, still overpriced. Bull case, that's the exact discount the $400 target is pricing back in. The crowd gauge is leaning bullish here too. Buy stance, conviction near 65, direction pointed up. Not a prediction, just where the flow's sitting heading into Monday's open. This is the lens I'd use to watch it open. The crowd gauge, overbought, oversold, both moving averages stacked on one chart. It doesn't predict Monday, just shows you where the crowd's leaning before you decide anything. Analysis, not advice. So, Apple's memory shortage follows you into Monday, and 729 on SPY is the line that decides if it stays contained. ORCL's the name on my watch list for the open. Free on the App Store, links below. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.